Hello everyone, it's Firechild and welcome back to yet another installment of the 2018 Pagan ABC Challenge. Today we have the letter H and we are going to be talking about humility. I thought this would be an interesting thing to share a little bit about as far as my perspective, because I feel that in my spiritual walk humility has been one of the greatest assets for me to aspire and try to foster within myself. I brought my patron god Ganesh out because I feel that Ganesh has been really instrumental to me in my magical life as far as finding humility and using that to center myself. I feel that centering myself around the idea of humility helps me be a better and more grounded person. Lord Ganesh, I feel, is a really good example of, a sort of humble image. Maybe not in the way that you see him here, but the idea that you have this grand God who rides through the sky on a tiny little mouse. I can't see anything that's more humble. He could have a horse, he could have a camel, he could have a pearl-spitting dragon if he wanted, but he chose one of the most humble of creatures to share his daily commute with. And I think that that's something that speaks to me on a deep level as far as reminding me not to judge anyone or anything by their appearance. Although most of us, when we think of mice, we're kind of like, ew! But I think that the Lord Ganesh tells me that even such small, humble creatures can become instruments of greatness, as in the case of the Lord Ganesh. So being a humble person, reminding myself that I'm not the be-all and end-all of the universe. I'm not even the be-all and end-all of my life. I try to focus my life around trying to do what I can to help my fellow human beings, to try to help spirits along, benevolent spirits, when they come to me for help. My close friends like Severine and Ronnie can tell you about times when we've just been hanging out and I just sort of fell out of the conversation and they see me go into a trance. Sometimes the spirit crosses my path that way and all they want me to do is just to listen to their tale. And sometimes even something as seemingly simple as that is enough to help them move on and find peace. I feel that being humble enough to open ourselves to being sort of a vessel of bringing blessings upon others should be what life's all about. I feel that being as blessed as I am, even though I don't rightly deserve the blessings I have, I feel that the reason I'm so blessed is to share the blessings, because when we share our blessings, they grow. They grow to such a size and magnitude that there's no way that the person that receives them can continue to just feel down and out, to feel sorry for themselves. I tell myself almost every day, because I work in a service industry, well, not industry per se, but it's an organization that's focused on service. And I try to tell myself at least once a day that if I can help the person who comes to me looking for some sort of help, if I can help them find a smile or laugh a little bit when they're down, I feel like that entire day was worth having. I feel that I'm allowed to wake up in the morning and go about my day because the blessings that I have were meant for me to share. So that's what I try to do. I try to share my blessings with those I meet in the hopes that maybe it'll help them breathe a little easier, or maybe enjoy their day a little bit more than they were before they met me. That's just my thoughts on it. I feel that trying to be more of a humble person can really help us see our potential. It might not always be what we're looking for, but it can be what it is that will enrich our lives and make us stronger and help us live more fulfilled lives. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's all anybody wants, is to live life to the fullest. And even though it might seem counterproductive to some, they might say, well, you're supposed to be seeking to try to improve self. You should be looking for power and all this, that, and the other. But to me, I don't feel like that's as important as helping to leave the world a little bit better than I found it that day. And if I've made someone smile, I kind of feel like I've done that in my own little way. I'm not trying to go out there and change the world, but I would like to feel one day that I've maybe made a small difference in my little corner of it. I think that trying to be humble, not trying to focus on yourself all the time, but just trying to be helpful to everyone we meet, I feel like that's kind of where I shine. Is humility a driving force in your life? How do you view humility? Do you feel that it's intrinsic as far as your magical pursuits? Hopefully you guys will start a dialogue and sort of share your thoughts on the subject. And if so, well, then I think that I've made things a little bit more interesting by helping to initiate the conversation. Thank you so much for spending just a little bit of your time with me, and I wish you all very many blessings. Take care.